Hi, it's Nicole for Traci Reed Designs, and today I am going to do a design concept that has been in the back of my mind for a very long time. I started out by printing all 3 sheets of the stickers for the Haunting collection. This one has been on my list that I wanted to play with for a very long time. I love the colors in this collection, but I also like how, yes, it's spooky and it's a Halloween collection, but it's actually like if you only did the florals from this, you could do so many like non-Halloween themed things. And I want to say that almost the entire time I've been on Traci's team this year, I have wanted to take like a whole collection of the icon stickers and do a like icon frame design. I've done this in the past. I did like a circle version for a Simple Stories project. I'll link it in the eye above. I've done a like square frame with Spellbinder's floral dies. That was a true labor of love. Both of those were kind of where the frame is more going around an internal shape. For a while, I've been wanting to do one where the frame itself is the outer edges of a layout, and today was time. Today it was going to happen. I only have a regular printer. It is a printer that I swear by. I print everything on it: photos, hybrid, journaling, recipes, double-sided sketchbooks, everything. It is always linked in the description, takes you straight to an Amazon page that lists the printer, paper, ink refills, photo paper, cardstock, everything that I print with is on there. So if you have questions regarding that, definitely look there. I printed that black doodly like pumpkin pattern paper just on a full letter sheet and then cut it to be square. So that's going to give me an 8.5-inch square. These alphas are from the Haunting collection as well. They're this really cool like enamel facet style letter. I did decide not to use both versions of the word to that I had also printed out. I did make them smaller, thinking that I would go ahead and use them. I decided to go ahead and just use some tile letter stickers, which I will figure that out a lot later in the video. Sometimes I can, kind of plan ahead and think I know what I want to use, and then sometimes I need to pivot in the middle because of placement, or I just change my mind, or I just kind of want to bring in some brighter colors. These print out a little bit more jewel tone compared to like the stickers, but it's a little bit different of a product as well. These are usually kind of geared more towards the digital scrapbooking, but I take the stuff that you would think is only for digital scrapbooking and I go ahead and print and cut those with my silhouette as well, because I don't, rules like that just don't apply. I kind of do what I want to do. Both of my photos are 3x4s. These were from when my son was in kindergarten and they got to wear their costumes to school. There was no telling the other one, who was not in school yet, that she could not put her costume on as well. So both of them were dressed up when I dropped him off and just took a couple quick photos. And I felt like especially the colors in her dress were going to be perfect for the Haunting collection. So everything just kind of went together. I am not following a sketch because, again, I've got this like frame built from stickers that is really the driving force of this layout. And then, like a math problem, once I have that part figured out, I have to look at what space is left, and that is the direct center of the layout. And so this direct center of the layout is just very simple, very basic, just fitting everything within that 8.5-inch square and getting the important things down, and then we're going to start having fun. I took those 4 really large floral clusters and I cut all of them in half. This is a really easy way to stretch those, and then because those are kind of the larger pieces, I'm going to use those to intentionally space them out around the entire frame. So instead of working from like one corner all the way around and then either having like a big gap where you need to go print more because you were maybe you got a little aggressive with how you filled things in, this is just a really good way to sort of start spreading things out. This helps balance all of those pieces all the way around the edge and kind of gives you a good like grounding base to start this style of like a frame. From there, I'm going to kind of come in with more of the really large pieces. I really liked the top half of the house, so it's going to go down here. I do try to have some elements kind of cross those imaginary borders. So you can see that the C and cute goes outside of that black mat. The K and spook goes outside of that black mat. The ghost and the bat that are attached to that haunted house are kind of going past that frame and going on to that mat. This is just a personal preference, and to me, this is what helps make these crazy scenes like this feel cohesive and feel intentional. So you can see I am just kind of taking a lot of those larger die cuts, so like the ghosts, the cauldron, stuff like that, putting it up on foam tape and spreading it around the layout. And this, because I've already put those big floral clusters are also driving my choices in what's going near them. So like in the upper right, you can see that most of the stuff that's up there is just purple and blue, even the little blue ghosts. So I know when I come in with some other products, I'm going to try to fill in with things that are the oranges and the pinks and the greens and kind of pull in those other colors. And I just sort of start filling in with the larger shapes, coming in with some of those more medium-sized shapes. And then as I work through, I start cutting off stuff that's hanging over the edge to kind of get things cleaned up a little bit. I did end up switching from scissors for this to my trimmer as I was adding more and more to it. It was a little bit easier to kind of put it in my trimmer and just slice everything off at the same time. And I like to mix up the height of things. So a lot of the large florals I will go ahead and put down flat with just regular adhesive or glue. And then some of these smaller pieces, I will go ahead and use foam adhesive to pop them up. And this to me is just really what makes a scene. The different layers, the different elements all overlapping. This is my this is it for me. This is the type of embellishing that I can sit here and I probably could have added twice as much as I put on here, but eventually I have to tell myself like it's time to stop. You have to stop. You have to move on to the next project. You need to go edit. But these are those like just giant dynamic cluster type things that I enjoy working on over like the traditional three clusters. Here is where I was like, okay, I'm not loving those letters that I cut out, so I just grabbed these really old tiny type stickers from Doodlebug. I grabbed the pink and the purple to go ahead and put the versions of the word "to" above it so that it says "too cute to spook," and that's going to be it. I did think about kind of bringing in either some gems or some enamel shapes, splatter something, but ultimately I like where it's at. I brought in a lot of those little tiny like candy corns and the bats to kind of fill in some space. And I love how this turned out. This, like I said, I've been itching to do for a while, and it was so easy to just print out the 3 sticker sheets, cut them, and have fun. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys here. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll check out the recommendations and leave me any questions you have down below. Bye.